Hi, everybody. So, if you're watching me, chances are you care about science and nature and the leaders who protect and champion those things. So, I'm going to assume that, like me, you are, constantly frazzled about current events, including the recent death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm seeing a lot of grieving, which is, I think, reasonable and normal and healthy. I'm also seeing a lot of, despair, which I think is a cousin of grieving, but is less healthy, less helpful, and less good for us physically and mentally. I just wrote a tweet, which is a thing I like to do, and I wrote, "It's noble to lend some of your finite energy to the global national struggles of our moment. It's also true that you don't own these problems alone. Humanity is a great stone. Rest your fingertips against it and press toward justice. Do not dash your body against the rock. Dark times are dark because we fear for the life we love. They are a shadow on a bright meadow. It is wise to be aware of the shadow. It misses the point entirely if you forget to take joy in the meadow itself." This is, sometimes my tweets sound a little preachy, and this might be one of them, but it's also advice to myself. In this era of anti-science and anti-expertise, when folks seem to generally be a little bit more blasé than I can tolerate about privileging profit over long-term health of the planet. I will have days when I think about it in increments over and over throughout the day. I do what Leslie likes to call doom scrolling, when I dive into the news on social media. And it's a slow boil. And I find that I might wake up and get on my phone and be a little uncomfortable about the news, and then I'll do it more and more until toward the end of the day I'm furious, which is, it's a physiological state. I pace. I'll feel like I can't get comfortable in any position. I'll just feel more and more dissatisfied with everything. I might be mad at Donald Trump, but I will be not enjoying the meal I'm eating because of that directionless fury. And more, I wonder, who is that for? I'm not going to say it's not natural, but I am going to say that it feels like taking poison and expecting somebody else to die. It feels like self-harm. And while I don't think I would tell somebody that being upset about current events lately is unreasonable, I do want to caution everybody to think about the nature of life and the end goal of all of this anger. We should all be doing, if you can, I think it's a good idea to take some practical steps to advance the goals you support, right? Whether it's a little bit of donation if you can afford it, signs in your yard, phone banking, volunteering what time and talents you have, whatever. Or it could be on a much more individual level, helping somebody less privileged than you, more vulnerable, um, looking out for mutual aid sites, seeing who's in need, providing services, help, hope, mental, physical support in any way you can to people who need it. Those concrete steps are they're sort of the best fruit of these impulses, of these feelings, of the sort of gloom and doom a lot of us feel. And they're good. And I think people are doing a lot more tangible good because of the nature of the political landscape right now. But, it doesn't serve anybody for us to be miserable. You think about the pandemic or politics, and it can be easy to drift into that sort of despair zone. To what end? If you spin out worst case scenarios, well, for one thing, you can't see the future, and if tangible danger comes, then we will meet it as it comes to us, and we'll prepare for it as we can. But sitting around, joking about the apocalypse on the internet, who does that serve? And in the big picture, I don't want to belittle current events, but there has always been a reason to think that the world was ending, or that we were all screwed in one way or another. I've got a master's degree in Renaissance literature, English literature. I think of the fires of 1666. You got widespread disease, and you have London burning down, and you have all of this dialogue on people just being so certain that this was the end. And you can see that repeated over and over. And there are always dark periods in life, but I want people to remember why they seem dark and why you're uncomfortable about that feeling that politics, the country, that human zeitgeist is going in the wrong direction. You're uncomfortable because you love the world, because you love life, because you love your friends, because you like your creative pursuits. If you focus so much on the threat that it starts to erode the things you want to protect, then, your fears are almost in service to that threat. You're losing the things you love because of fear, not because of the actual external forces that we want to rally against. So be kind to yourself. Stop and think, am I furious? Am I doom scrolling? Am I feeling despair? You can get into a physiological state that needs addressed at that point. I sometimes do simple meditation where I'll just sit, do what I can to clear my mind, think of one word like here on the breath in, one word like now on the way out, and just do that until you fill your senses up with the room around you and not the big abstract ideas that sometimes haunt us. That kind of meditation can be great. And if you search for other meditation and calming techniques to address anxiety, you'll find many more. I want people to understand that isn't immoral. It isn't ignoring the problem. It is the idea that you have to take care of the caregiver first. Affix your oxygen mask on the airplane before you help your neighbor. It's okay to feel all right. It's okay to give yourself permission. The world has always been ending. 50 years from now, probably we'll all be dead. 100 years later, probably nobody will know any of our names. Not trying to be grim, I'm trying to remind you that going outside and admiring the sky, or touching a tree, or going for a walk, or just going and feeling the sunshine, reading a good book, those things carry as much magic and merit and love now as they did at any point. And to deny yourself these things because of a threat, real or predicted, misses the point. It misses the point of the life you want to protect. Safety is not the end goal, folks. We will never be safe. Safety is antithetical to the impermanence of all of our situation, from us as individuals to the planet to the species, anything. Permanence, safety, these cannot be the measuring stick you use to assess happiness and comfort and fulfillment. That's a bad measuring stick. Instead, look for your passions. It takes time and energy to weave that sense of impermanence into your own mindset, but you can. And once you do, you realize that something not lasting forever doesn't rob it of its beauty or its satisfaction. It's the nature of our existence. So go have a hot cocoa. Go outside. Talk to somebody you love. These things are not just okay, they are the point of why we fight, the point of why sometimes we feel anxiety. So you can't let anxiety feed itself into a cycle where anxiety becomes the way you live and how you live and why you live. That is not the best use of your finite mental and emotional energy. So, thanks for listening to me talk to you as I think about this for myself. Wishing everybody the best. Take care of one another.